What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me today. We're going to be doing a playthrough of Marvel Champions, a game by Fantasy Flight Games that was released in 2019, but still going strong. It's a LCG, it's a living card game, which means they're just going to try and keep releasing new expansions and expansions. With that said, there's actually one being released next month in March of 2025. So very exciting. It's going to be about the Agents of Shield, I believe, is what it's called. So this is a video that we're just going to play a game. It's a playthrough. Today you're going to see Hawk and his alter ego of Bruce Banner take on Rhino. Now there's two different versions of Rhino because we're playing on regular. So we have to defeat the first level in order to then take on the second level of Rhino. One of the cool features of this game is the replayability aspect. There is an expert mode, which is where you remove level 1 and you play levels 2 and 3. I'm going to give brief little rule interjections like that throughout this playthrough. However, this is a playthrough. It's not a how to play. So if you want to learn the complete setup and all the rules and how to play after watching this video, or if you'd like to pause this video, jump over to the Watch It Played channel where Mr. Rodney Smith does a fantastic job at explaining this. He's very clear, he's very concise, and he's very good at teaching you the rules and the walkthrough and how it's played. But we're just going to play. So I have my obligation card. That's going to get shuffled into the villain deck. We'll do that now. I've already set our starting life. Starting life is based on how many heroes are playing. So we are playing this in a true solo fashion, meaning I have one hero against one villain. You can play solo, meaning one person, with multiple champions, but realize when you do that, the game length increases and the heroes get stronger, more abilities happen. So true solo, I think, is the best way to approach this if you're just playing by yourself. I have Rhino's health is set to 14. My health, I get to start at 18, so we're already set there. I'll go ahead and display them on the screen and track that as we move forward. I have my hero deck. I have shuffled it, but I'll shuffle it again real quick, and we're going to jump into gameplay. So to kick off, you always start in your alter ego mode, not your hero mode. So we're starting off with Bruce Banner showing up, and Bruce Banner allows me to have a hand size of 5. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, and our 5. So that will be our starting hand for this game. So what I pulled was, for a 1 cost, it's called You'll Pay For That. It's a thwart action, meaning a hero response. After a villain attacks you, remove 1 threat from a scheme for each damage you took from that attack, to a total of 5. For a 2 cost, I have Unstoppable Force. It's a hero action event. I can ready Hawk if I paid for this card using any aggression resource, which is a fist resource. I get to draw a card. For 2 cost, I have To the Rescue. It's another hero action. It allows me to remove 2 threat from a scheme. I got the Power of Aggression. I can only have 2 of these in my deck. It doubles the number of resources this card generates while paying for aggression or red cards. And it has the green wild symbol, so it can be used for any kind of resource I need. And then I got a second You'll Pay For That in my opening hand. Okay, so let's figure out how we're going to start this off. Obviously, You'll Pay For That are responses, so I'm going to put them to the side and use them for resources. There is no threat currently on the main scheme, so To the Rescue is kind of out as well, which basically makes my starting hand kind of just worthless. So we'll go ahead and we'll bring Hawk into the game. So he'll flip over and turn into his hero mode. Hawk has a 0 thwart, a 3 attack, and a 3 defense. He also has Enraged, which means a forced interrupt. So when my turn ends, I have to discard my entire hand. So when I'm playing with Hawk, I want to make sure I use as many cards from my hand as I can, because at the end of it, I'm going to lose all of them. With all of that said, I will pay these 2 cards for the aggression and for the energy resource to actually play Unstoppable Force. Nope, we're going to hold off on that because I'm getting ahead of myself. With the cards that I drew, there's only a couple things I can do. So I'm going to attack Rhino. Again, Hawk attacks for 3. Rhino's health is 14 currently, and that's going to take him down to 11. Now I'll pay those 2 resources and play Unstoppable Force, which will allow me to ready Hawk. And because I did pay 1 red aggression symbol to play this card, I get to draw a card. So y'all go in my discard. This is still my hand. So I draw a card. And look at that, I got strength. I'm seeing cards I don't want to see this early. Strength gives me 2 aggression resources. That's all it does. There's only 1 in the deck, and of course I pull it now. So basically these are all worthless. I can't do anything else except for attack Rhino again. That's 3 more damage, taking him down to 9. Alright, so that's all done. Player turns over. I have to discard my hand because of Hawk's ability. So I'll discard my hand. You ready all of your people if you had any more than 1. Right now I currently just have Hawk. And then you draw back up to your hand size, which in Hawk's form, it goes from 5 to 4 cards. I drew Dropkick. It's a 3-cost resource, 3-cost event. Hero action, deal 4 damage to an enemy. If you paid for this card using a red resource, stun the enemy and draw a card. Sweet. I drew Toe to Toe. It's a 1-cost hero action. Choose an enemy. The enemy attacks you. Deal 5 damage to that enemy. I got a 2nd Dropkick out of that pull and a 3-cost upgrade. Immovable object. It's a condition. This card gives me plus 4 hit points, and I gain Retaliate 1. So Retaliate 1 means I'll do 1 damage every time an enemy attacks me. That's probably going to be where I'm going to go with that. Anyway, that's for my next turn. It's now the villain's turn. So the way this game works, the player takes their turn. All players take their turns if there's more than 1 player playing. Once all the players are done, everybody resets like I just did, and now the villain's going to take their turn. The first thing the villain does on their turn is they're going to place 1 threat on their main scheme. It might be different for other schemes, but for Rhino's opening scheme, it's 1 threat per person, and since it's just me playing, 1 threat's going on there. What does that mean? Well, here's another rules interject. So one of the win conditions for Rhino is he has to get 7 threat on this scheme, and I lose the game. So right now he's 1 of 7. He's moving towards that victory condition. The other victory condition for Rhino would be Rhino taking my life total all the way down to 0 and basically killing my hero. My win condition, defeat Rhino twice. So that's kind of why it's important to watch how much threat's being put on here and why certain heroes, Hawk is not one of them, can thwart instead of attack and actually remove threat. But luckily, Hawk does have some cards in this deck that will help me remove threat, even though he cannot. Either way, first step of the villain phase, Rhino adds 1 threat. Now, Rhino's going to attack. When the villain announces they're attacking, or when it's their turn to attack, the hero automatically has to decide, are they going to block, or are they going to take the attack undefended? I'm sitting at 18 health. Hawk does have a defense of 3, but Rhino starts off with an attack of 2. So why this is even a thought, why am I bringing this up? Well, here's the thing. If I decide to block with Hawk, yes, I will be able to stop 3 damage with my defense. However, Hawk becomes exhausted, and he will not unexhaust until the end of my next turn. So when you choose to block with your hero, you're basically forfeiting an entire turn with them. I don't think strategically that's what I want to do, so we're going to take the damage undefended. Which means Rhino is actually going to just attack me directly, well, attack Hawk directly and take down his hit points without Hawk even defending. So, he's going to attack for a base of 2, and then when a villain attacks, you flip over the top threat card. I pulled Caught Off Guard, and if you notice, it has that one little pip down there in the corner, that one little red pip. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus a little bit better. I need better AV. I'm working on that. Either way, in the villain attack phase, when you pull these cards, you don't pay attention to any of this verbiage here. You just look at the bottom corner and see what that symbol is. Can be up to 4, I believe. So this is going to add 1 to his attack. The exception to not reading the verbiage, if that was a star, you would read the card because that means it's going to do a special ability, which in turn is going to still add to his attack but do something else in general. This is just the arrow pip. It's not a star, so it's only adding 1 to his attack. I said I was taking it undefended, so that's 3 damage. So I was at 18. I'm now down to 15. When the villain's turn is about to end, every hero gets issued a threat card. You get issued them face down in a multiplayer game, one at a time, starting with the first player. We flip them over. It's only me, so let's just see what happens. Awesome. I pulled one of the side schemes, so I pulled Bomb Scare. So Bomb Scare basically adds another scheme to the mix. In this one, it comes in with 2 threat tokens. However, when revealed, I place an additional threat per person playing, so that actually comes in with 3. And it's going to add this icon, which is actually, I believe that's an acceleration icon, which means every time threat is placed on the main scheme, it adds an additional threat. So at the start of Rhino's turn, from here on out until I can remove Bomb Scare, he's going to be placing 2 threat and getting up quicker here. That's a problem. I'm going to have to figure out how to take care of that. But that was it. That's the villain's turn. It comes back to the hero's turn. We have all of our cards in hand. And I'm not going to lie, the immovable object is very attractive to me right now. It is going to cost the other 3 of mine, so let's see what we can do. For one, I can play Dropkick. That leaves me 2 cards that are pretty much useless to me. Or I pay 3 to either do Dropkick or immovable object. So do I want 4 hit points moving forward, bumping my health up to 22? Or do I want to just deal 4 damage to an enemy and draw a card? This honestly is a tough decision. Having an extra 4 hit points seems very attractive. However, we're Hawk, right? I mean, I think I want to try and just take this guy down. So we're going to pay the 3 to do Dropkick, and I am going to be paying 2 red and a blue in order to play Dropkick. So why that matters is Dropkick deals 4 damage to the enemy, so that takes Rhino down to 5, because he was sitting at 9. And because I paid a red to do that, I get to draw another card. Which kind of sucks. I have no other cards in hand that I can use to pay the resources for this, because I pulled Martial Prowess. It's a 2-cost upgrade. I can play under any player's control, max of 1 player. I could have exhausted this to get a red resource to use for an attack event. That's kind of suck, or that's kind of crappy. Like that I pulled it now. Either way, Hawk's gonna attack Rhino. That's 3 more, so his health of 5 just went down to 2. And then that's the end of my player phase. I have to discard my hand because of Hawk's ability. I'll ready him up, and Rhino will begin his turn. So again, at the start of his turn, he's going to place 2 threat on break-in. So we'll actually replace this 1 threat token with a 3 threat token, because there's now 3 of 7 on that specific scheme. He's then going to attack Hawk. Once again, I have to make the decision, and I'm just going to say I'm not going to defend. So 2 damage plus, sweet. So if you notice, I pulled I'm tough. It has nothing down here in the corner. I disregard the other text because I was using it to boost his attack. So he basically just hits me for 2, taking my 15 down to 13. End of his turn. Since I attacked, he's going to issue me a threat card. And it's Stampede. When revealed, if I were in Alter Ego, this card would gain Surge. I'm not in Alter Ego, I'm in Hero form. So, when revealed in Hero form, Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, that character is stunned. Wow. So Rhino's going to attack in again. Again, I'm going to take it undefended. So that's 2 plus, and this one was Hydra Mercenary, and it does have that 1 pip, so that's actually 3 damage I'm taking. Taking my life from 13 down to 10. And because I took damage, Hawk is now stunned. Yay. So stunned is an ability that basically the next time I would try and attack, I just remove the stunned instead. It still counts as me taking an attack action, which kind of sucks. And I just realized I forgot to draw cards at the end of my last turn, so we'll do that now. Remember, it's still Rhino's turn, but there's my 1, 2, 3, and 4. And let's see what we got. So we would have had in our hand energy, which gives us 2 yellow pips. We pulled another drop kick. That's that 3 that did damage, 4 damage to Rhino, and I drew a card because I played red. To the rescue, which is a hero action, I get to remove 2 threat from a scheme. And look at that, I can't say that very well. Martial prowess. That's the one that I keep out in front of me. I can exhaust it to get a red to do an attack event. So that was my hand that was supposed to be drawn prior to Rhino's turn. So Rhino's turn is over. It's now back to me. Let's see what we can do. So alright, Rhino has 2 health left. Because of my stunned, I'm not going to be able to do damage to him. So what I think the best action to play here is to discard these 2, which is going to give me 2 yellows and 1 red to pay for dropkick. And again, dropkick, deal 4 damage to the enemy. If I paid red, I get to draw a card. Actually, I need to reverse the order of that because I believe, and I'd have to consult the rule book, but I think this counts as an attack, so I'd have to remove my stun first. So before I pay for that and do that, we're going to attack with Hawk to remove his stunned ability. Now I'm going to do the drop kick and do 4 damage to Rhino, which, oh, look at that. He has 2 health, and he just went bye-bye. Alright. Because I paid for the red, I did draw a card. I ended up drawing the Power of Aggression. Doubles the number of resources and to be used to pay for a red event. Unfortunately, the only 2 cards I have are gray, and I can't pay for it for itself, so it almost is kind of like worthless. Again, I'm pulling these cards that just at the wrong time in the game. So, my turn is basically over. I'm going to go ahead and discard my hand. I'll reset Hawk. So, you're probably wondering, well, what happens with the villain? Because, hey, look, he's down to 0 health. Well, he actually just upgrades. So, we've defeated Rhino 1. And we go on to Rhino version 2. If I can hold it correctly. So Rhino version 2, he does 1 more attack. He now attacks for 3. And he has a ability that when he's revealed, I search the discard and the encounter deck, and I'm looking for a side scheme called Breaking and Taking. Breaking and Taking. Come on, where are you? It's crowd control. Breaking and Taking. Whoa, my obligation was coming up. Alright, it then says shuffle the encounter deck afterwards. So Breaking and Taking is now in play. Again, it's just another side scheme. It comes in with 2 threat and then an additional threat per player. So it comes in with 3. And this one actually kind of sucks because what this allows to happen is instead of getting 1 encounter card, I'm going to be getting 2 encounter cards until I can get rid of that. And as we've discussed, Hawk doesn't thwart, so I kind of come up with something. So, anyway, that kind of sucked. Alright, it's Rhino's turn. First thing he does, because of this, he places 2 threat instead of 1. So we are now up to 5 threat on his 7. If I cannot stop that next turn, he's going to win the game. He's then going to attack me because I'm in hero mode. I'm going to take it undefended. So it's 3 plus 1. He's doing 4 damage. I was at 10 health. I'm now down to 6. And let me reset his health tracker. He is up to 15. So, uh-oh. Again, this isn't going the way I was hoping. Alright, because of the Breaking and Taking, I not only get 1 threat card, I get 2. So let's see what happens. I'm tough. When revealed, give Rhino a tough status card. So now he basically has a shield. The next time he would be attacked, that gets removed instead of damage being placed on him. And we got a Hydro Bomber. When revealed, choose to either take 2 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme. Ouch. I don't want to do that because that's going to put him closer to that win victory. I got to figure out how to get rid of that. So I will take the 2 damage going down to 4. And now we have a Hydro Bomber out into play. Luckily, he doesn't have guard, which means I can still attack Rhino directly. I don't have to go through him. And again, I forgot to draw up my cards. Rhino's turn is over. The minion stays out into play. And what I should have done last turn is draw 4 cards. I will do that now. I do apologize. As much as I try and want this to go smoothly, I guess I'm getting a little nervous. Alright, I drew Banner's Laboratory. Costs 2 to do. Costs 2 to play. It's a location. Bruce Banner gets 2 heal. An alter ego resource. I can exhaust Banner's Laboratory to generate a science resource. I pulled the Helicarrier for 3. It's a support. It has an action where I can exhaust Helicarrier, choose a player, reduce the resource cost of the next card that player plays during this phase by 1. Limitless Strength. It gives me 3 aggression resources to use. That is awesome. And I can only spend it during hero form. And I pulled Toe to Toe. We've seen that one before. Choose an enemy. The enemy attacks. Choose an ideal 5 to them. Nothing to remove threat. So I hate to say it, but I'll play this out, but I don't think there's any way I can stop him from going up to 7 next turn. Which just kind of, which sucks. Okay. I mean, I guess it really doesn't. It seems silly, but being at 4 health, I think this is over. I mean, he's at 15 to my 4. If I change the hero form and try and heal, then he's going to thwart even more, or scheme even more next turn. Crapola. Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure this is over. I'll pay this for the 1 red. I'll pay Toe to Toe. I'm gonna choose Rhino. No, actually, I'll choose the Hydro Bomber. It says choose an enemy. That enemy attacks you, deal 5 damage to that enemy. So Hydro Bomber's gonna do 1 to me, taking me to 3. I'm doing 5 back to him, just taking him out of the game. I wish it was something like Thwart afterwards or something like that. So either way, those get discarded because of Hulk. Well, it's really not worth it, but I'm going to attack Rhino just to get the tough off of him. End of my turn, I discard my cards, I ready up. Rhino's turn starts, and just like that, folks, Wiggy lost the game. He has reached his 7th thwart. Hawk was unsuccessful at stopping him from his evil scheme. It happened. Rhino is victorious. And that is Marvel Champions. Hawk versus Rhino. I thank you guys for joining me. It's always a pleasure. Once again, I'm Wiggy. If you liked what you saw, maybe go ahead and hit those notification symbols, the little like E and the bell and all that good stuff. You're going to see more of these coming. I am really, really into this game. I like this game a lot, and I have many characters that I've purchased outside of the core box that I want to get on the table. And I'm going to invite you all to join me when I do it, much like this. Fair is fair. I have played Hawk once before. It went better than it did this time, but that's why it's called playing a game, right? Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Anyway, that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much. It's a pleasure, and I'll see you next time.